Well, guys, the topic I'm about to talk about today might put you on edge a little bit. I know that when I saw it, I wanted to jump through my screen. The pure lack of self-awareness in the creator we're about to talk about today knows no bounds. If you haven't recognized the person that's on the screen right now, well, this is DSP or Dark Side Phil. He's a gaming content creator that used to be way more popular back in the day before a lot of drama has just divulged him into somebody who doesn't realize how good he has it. So if you don't know about Dark Side Phil, let me fill you in for a quick second. He's absolutely horrible to the people who donate to him, sucks at pretty much every game. In fact, he's notorious for sucking at every game he plays. Phil, due to his extensively large, fragile ego, is infamous for refusing to take criticism where it counts. And in this video, we're not going to be highlighting how bad he is at video games, as that's kind of his niche. He is bad at video games and people like that about him. But if I have to use some of that bad footage to point out the hypocrisy of him criticizing others, I'm gonna. Because Phil here, he cannot take criticism, and when he does receive any form of criticism, he just writes those people off as people who have been indoctrinated by other defactors, as he calls them, from his YouTube channel. People who used to be fans because his content used to be humble, but they slowly watched him divulge into somebody who just is either a jealous creator or somebody who just hasn't had a job in so long that he's lost touch to how easy it is to do what he's doing instead of work a real 9-to-5 job. And it's funny because a lot of people say he can't beat anything when it comes to his channel, but the guy has actually jerked the gherkin live to his audience and forgot that the camera was on.
You're so creamy, and I wish you never ended, ever.
Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh?
To this day, he's said that that's not what he was doing, but I would like to know what his excuse is for what he was doing. Like, the camera's recording? Oh, I'm sorry, but that's the exact reaction a person would give if they were caught jerking the gherkin on camera. And I mean, okay, all right, it does seem a little bit mean for me to be making fun of him for something like that, but when you say that your job is harder than a 9-to-5, and then you're caught doing that on camera because you're bored, well, I'm gonna point it out because that's hypocritical as hell. Now, lately, Phil has divulged into a new low. He's drank his own Kool-Aid, his own Coke so much that he has convinced himself of the value of his channel so much that he doesn't even start playing video games until he reaches a certain donation goal from his chatters and viewers. Good old Phil here has taken to criticizing people for the amount of money that they can afford to give him. Real people that are supporting his channel, that just want to see him game. Yeah, he's criticizing those people.
We got a Nigerian super chat. Let's take a look here. Nigerian super chat is only 27 cents. So I don't even count it. It doesn't even register on the Richter scale for me. So that's just a waste of time. Oh, now we got a Nigerian gifted membership. Are you kidding me? What is that worth? Like 2 cents? Are you kidding me? A Nigerian membership? Come on, that doesn't count.
Now, for the life of me, which I'll never understand, people actually give this guy money. He won't game until he reaches a certain goal of money donated on his streams. He'll sit there and beg and plead his audience for money that they don't owe him. And I'm not joking here. If he doesn't reach that certain amount of money, he just won't game. On one of his most recent streams, he completely went in on one of his Nigerian followers for donating money in Nigerian naira. Rather than being appreciative that somebody was generous enough to give some of their hard-earned money to Phil, he sat there, did the conversion rate to American dollars, and deemed it not enough for him to even consider a good thing. Yeah, I know I stuttered there for a second, but I genuinely cannot understand how Phil does something that regular 9-to-5 job workers will do on their off time just to relax, and because he wasn't donated enough money that he deems is enough, he's just going to write you off as somebody that doesn't matter.
Well, we got to hit 50 goals, right? Right now we're at 42. We get another goal tonight, we'll be at 43, and then we get closer and closer. I figure the earliest we can do this is Sunday. Like if let's say we hit a goal tonight, 2 tomorrow, 2 Friday, right? Then we'd be so close that maybe we could even do it on Sunday. Because remember, Saturday's my day off.
Alright, so in case you didn't hear him there, He's not even gonna game that day. This man won't game until he reaches 50 goals. He's just gonna sit there and mercilessly beg his audience. And yes, this is e-begging at its worst until he gets to his goals. He's gonna stretch it out days because, well, according to him, he works so hard for his money. He's just gonna sit there, ramble, and expect people to give him money and then not even reward them by gaming.
All right, let's get our first contribution in. As small or as big as it can be, let's get one in and then we'll begin with the game. Let's get one thing going to get momentum started. Who's going to be the very first person to hit the leaderboard tonight? You know what they say. When it comes to contributions, strike first and strike hard. There you go. No mercy. No limits. No mercy and no limits.
I've seen more quality streaming content come out of TikTok, and this is the entirety of what his streams are. I mean, okay, there's a little bit of gaming here and there, but the guy's just trying to do a modern form of busking. But I don't know about you, I've never seen a busker not play a guitar or juggle until somebody throws a quarter in. The only time I've ever seen it is on TikTok, where you have those silver guys who won't actually do their robot dance until they actually have some money thrown at them. And even then, the comparison doesn't really match because Darkside Phil is not going to do anything unless he deems the amount of money you gave him is enough, as to where these silver guys will do their thing no matter what you throw in the hat.
We got a Nigerian super chat. Let's take a look here. So your 400 Nigerian super chat is only 27 cents. So I don't even count it. It doesn't even register on the Richter scale for me. So that's just a waste of time.
All right, so if you go online and see the average weekly income of a Nigerian citizen converted to US dollars, it's about 86 per week. And if you do a little bit of quick maths here, you take that $86 and you add a couple zeros on it, so you have cents, you have 8,600 cents. And since the donation is 87 cents, you can go 87 divided by 8,600 and then multiply that by 100 and you got the percentage. He donated 1% of his weekly income to this troglodyte. Considering the fact that the average American is pulling in $1,192 per week, and then you take that number and multiply it by 0.01, that's about $12 equivalency in American that person just donated to you out of the good of their heart. $12 is not an insignificant amount of money, especially to people who really are in a country where they need every little bit of money they can get to survive. Because, you know, items that you buy to survive in Nigeria aren't competitively priced. So your money's probably not going to go as far as it does in the US. And if I donated $12 to a creator that I like to watch and they told me that it didn't even matter, it didn't even count on their Richter scale, I would most definitely stop watching them. Phil is literally the biggest POS I've seen in a while to criticize somebody for giving him their hard-earned money just to watch him play video games. Something that person probably does if they can afford to do it on their free time because it's fun.
No, Nigerian contributions are welcome. They just have to be like $1 or more. I don't shout out anything under $1 at all. That's a waste of time.
I don't think I've ever seen a less self-aware person on the internet. Calling somebody who gave you 1% of their weekly income a waste of time is crazy work. You're literally wasting people's time sitting there waiting for people to give you money. My guy, you're grandstanding on people while you actually e-beg on the internet. Instead of changing with the times, creating content that people might want to see, you're literally doing this. Have you ever thought about what's going to happen when the money dries out, Phil? You're like half over this life. You're 40-something years old. And this is how you choose to spend your time? Abusing the very people that actually still like you? This might be the purest form of the trash taking itself out.
Oh, that's right. You guys want me to do the pose? Oh, I forgot all about this. People want me to do it. Are you ready? So, all right, how about this? Let's get one contribution of each type. Let's get one super chat, one membership, and one sub right now. Right now.
My guy, you're over 40 years old, crossing your arms until you get what you want. That's legit 3-year-old behavior. I would like to say you're learning that kind of behavior from your followers, but even 3-year-olds like to watch people win at video games. So these people must just be following you based on who you used to be. Like, this guy started his channel 14 years ago, and I'll admit, dude seemed like a pretty humble guy. I scrolled for as long as I physically could without getting bored, and I couldn't even get through 1 year of his content before realizing this dude must post like damn near more times than there is days in the year. So I gotta ask you, Phil, where did it all go wrong?
Nigerian currency is called Nairas. I don't care. They're not worth much. So, oh, now we got a Nigerian gifted membership. Are you kidding me? What is that worth? Like 2 cents? Are you kidding me? A Nigerian membership? Come on. A Nigerian membership. Wow. That doesn't count. It doesn't count. It doesn't. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, there's not much I can guarantee in life, but I can guarantee you this. He's not sorry. And that leads me to the second video of this man who hasn't matured since the ripe old age of 13. In fact, I think he's digressed. And this second video is going to show you how he just listens to himself. He doesn't listen to anybody else. He drinks that copium so hard. He thinks that sitting there and giving nothing to his community is so valuable that he's willing to actually criticize other creators who talk about him.
I don't need anyone else to exist. I am going to ask for contributions, and you're going to like it because I'm successful and you're not. We've got actual creators on the internet making documentaries about me saying I'm the greediest creator. Are you f***ing kidding me? Have you ever watched anyone else, you pathetic f***ing schlub? You are so lame because you take the low-hanging fruit, the easy target that everyone's already targeted, to make a worthless fucking video that rehashes the same shit and just ignores the fact that there are people 47 times worse than me who actively hurt people on a fucking daily basis.
Alright, so there is so many wrong things about this statement that I don't know where to start. To say that if you do something bad and people aren't allowed to talk about you because other people are worse that exist is crazy work. According to Phil's logic, you can't make fun of Stalin because Hitler existed. You hear this excuse a lot from people who post the shittiest types of content on the internet so that they can fall asleep at night.
But somehow I'm the greediest person on the internet. Get you disingenuous loser who has no idea how to actually make a documentary.
Alright, Phil, did you ever notice how some of these documentaries made about you have more views than your entire channel collectively has? It's almost like the skeptical of all of your thousands of videos literally leading to you e-bagging behind a paywall of shitty content is more entertaining than watching the shitty content.
What a fucking loser schlub to pull my name out of the hat and say I'm the greedy guy. You're nuts.
Now, in this part of his stream, he is generally talking about anybody who makes negative content about him, but that particular comment was made about August the Duck. And instead of addressing the few criticisms August did have over a 3-minute clip that he was covering, Phil didn't address any of them. He has this weird habit of not listening to anybody's criticisms, even if they're valid, and just throws different criticisms back at him that are a lot less valid, like it's some sort of weird pissing match. And then always comes to the same conclusion that for some reason, according to him, he makes the best content ever. Content that people apparently to him are just not allowed to criticize. Again, let's break down his content. He bought a camera, he sits in front of his camera, and holds his shitty gameplay hostage unless he hits these goals of people donating, and if he doesn't hit those goals, he doesn't do anything. Yeah, Phil, super high quality content. Stuff you can really hang your hat on and go to bed at night with. The part that blows my mind is that he sits there and thinks that people owe him this money for him to do any work and that he is entitled to the money that they pay him before he does any streaming. Like, Phil, you have arguably the best job on the internet. You play games, you do stuff that people do to relax for money. You should be appreciative of anything anybody gives your way, which I don't know who does that anyway. I don't know who is sitting on the camera and going, yeah, Phil deserves the money that I went to work for and earned.
Tried to do things different. Why I feel like my path can work, but it requires people to actually have some independent thought, to not listen to fucking morons who are constantly just crapping on stuff, using it for personal gain. Phil's the worst guy on the internet. Dude, there is no one who can legitimately look at me and my content and say that I am the worst guy on the internet, period. It's just not possible. So anyone who has is a disingenuous liar who has no content and relies on trying to make fun of memes on the internet to make content. I want you to think about that. I sit here and I grind every day to put out content for you, whether it's gaming news, a podcast, just hanging out and having conversation, playing a game, doing other things outside the box, whatever it is. It's definitely content. All right?
You see that, guys? You see that pause he took? That little mini stroke right after saying he makes content? Even he knows what he's saying is bullshit.
It's definitely content. It's definitely content. All right? I don't just make my content talking about other people's content. I make original content. That's way harder. Because if you don't make your original content, you just suck on everyone else. You're a parasite. I don't need anyone else to exist.
All right, guys, let's go back in one of his previous streams and just see how hard Phil is working when he plays video games. You know, because he claims he makes original content that's
way harder.
Now, I will give Phil credit for one thing in this game I'm about to show you that he recently streamed. He does go positive, but for every death he gets, he has an excuse for. He just can't seem to wrap his head around when he makes a mistake, yet when he pulls the exact same move against somebody else, he thinks that's a legitimate kill.
Got him right in the face. The game didn't register the shot. Great start. Why am I all by myself? Of course. Whatever you say. Tell me that makes any sense. Absolutely no fucking sense at all. Again, there's nothing I can do about that. I literally just fucking spawned. And she slides in to get to kill. Wow, what a great game. Why is the whole enemy team on me? What is going on here? Right, made no sense whatsoever.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
5,000 feet away. Oh, come on. I did good. I make original content. That's way harder.
So if by original content you mean that you're staying silent until you get a death, in which then you just justify why you died instead of just admitting that maybe you just weren't as good as the person that killed you, or you made a really stupid call leading to your death in the video game, well then yeah, Phil. Super original content indeed. In fact, you might be the best at it. Of course, I'm joking here. The dude grandstands saying he makes the best content that you can't criticize, but then proceeds to literally do nothing for his chat, doesn't address anybody, only looks over at the screen to check and see if somebody gave him money for dying, and then justifies his deaths by saying, yeah, the game sucks. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong here, but isn't that what you do when you're not recording and just playing Call of Duty in general? Yeah, this isn't original content. This is a 40-year-old who sits around all day, plays video games, and thinks he's entitled to your money for doing the same things you guys do on your off time. So yeah, Phil, what you're making is not original content. What you're making is no harder than what a commentary YouTuber makes who you criticize for not working as hard as you do on your content. Don't for a moment sit there and huff your own copium to the point where you think anything otherwise.
I exist in the center of this weird universe, and this parasite vortex exists around me. If I turn off my camera and never broadcast again, 1,000 people have nothing to do tomorrow. So every one of them can get fucked. None of what you say matters. None of your criticism is valid. You're a bunch of fucking loser lowlifes, and you don't mean anything to me.
Yeah, you're sure making it look that way with your rant here.
And yes, I am going to make money. I am going to ask for contributions, and you're going to like it because I'm successful and you're not. Because success doesn't mean you steal success from someone else. It means you make it for yourself, which is what I have always done and you could never do because you don't have talent. Get it? Anyone who relies on me to make their content has no talent. If anyone wants to argue with that, why don't you make some content for your own and show me how fucking successful it does? Like some of these no-loads who actually did try. Oh, I'm going to play games like Phil does. Oh, I'm going to do a stream like he does. Oh, I'm going to do this. And then you fail, you fail, you fail, you fail. Why doesn't July the Cuck make a fucking piece of content for himself that's not making fun or deriding or trying to bring down someone else and see how it does? Because it ain't gonna fucking work.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of person that goes tit for tat, but, you know, Phil, I used to do different types of content. I would make my own original content, and I've gotten more views than you in considerably less videos made. You know, since you want to point out that people aren't as good as making content as you, well, then explain those numbers. Now, I'm a big enough man to realize that the content I was making that got me all those views was a thing of the past. It's no longer welcome on the platform, so I'm switching content variety. Sure, I might not be getting crazy views right now, but I'm pretty determined, and I think I'll probably be doing pretty good for myself soon. That being said, I would never pull the same shtick Phil's pulling here, where I stick to the content I was making even though people don't like it, and I do move on to something that people actually do like and something that is going to provide value to my viewers. And that actually does lead me to a different topic. I was thinking about actually making gaming videos. The ARK gaming footage you've seen in this video thus far is actually something I've recorded the entire walkthrough of on the first map of ARK, and I'm thinking about making all the other walkthroughs on all the other maps leading after this. If some of you guys want to see that, then I probably will edit the whole 40 hours of gameplay footage that I've recorded and then probably do the next map and release another video of the same thing, you know, if you guys like it, if that's content you want to see. What I won't be doing, however, is telling you guys that you're gonna watch it and you're gonna like it because I'm the best. Kinda like what Phil's content's depreciated to over the years. A lot of stuff that I've been posting recently is very heavily edited. Takes me almost a full day to get the video complete, and I've gotta be honest with you. I have another account that only has 600 followers, and when I post those type of videos there, they get a lot more attention. So I'm going to start posting my heavily edited, very polished videos over there on that channel. I'll put it right here. And I'm going to, you know, do a lot less editing on this channel and just get content out a little bit faster. Going forward, I'm going to have a lot less talking headshots on this channel, and I'm just going to probably post gaming content. I actually like playing ARK quite a bit, so maybe I'll throw some ARK videos up and some other gaming videos up that I play, which when I go through my analytics, it makes sense since a lot of people that follow me on this account are not that old, so they probably like gaming. And that works both for the viewer and myself because I can get a lot more stuff out that I want to cover on this channel while simultaneously still doing all the passionate editing that I want to do on the other channel and growing an audience that appreciates that kind of editing instead of just trying to make it pass on this channel when at the end of the day, what you guys like is probably what you should be getting. If you guys do want to see that polished, high quality, more passionate edits that go longer and more in depth into what we're talking about, go over to my other channel. So that being said, I'm going to leave a link to the other channel in the description of this video. If you like that kind of content, please go subscribe to that channel. I'm going to be posting probably twice a week, and I'm going to become a lot more frequent on this. So please like and subscribe on here too.